Ekeonga Jumatatu tariki emirongo ebere na Isano na Ibere Ekeonga Chinsa Isano na Ibere asenchira yobwenge nchenga tereni Nyaboga Wilson Makori kurasense meri yebimanyerero nabo abiganya nyanchama nero gochikoneke chibicha na marengo ikirachira senchira yobwekerano karase kenko manyingana na arariari abarike betu amangana batoenekeire karibu sana nchenga tereni kwambuka Nyaboga. Magegayo mona chebino manene muswati mata koma ko ruba nyanyimbo baye ritko ria rero nigate biri abanaje osinigate biri kamiti ya chora no muraibwense yera chiko tinenera ekyombekeri bisane mono gochora aba commissioner ase kyombekyo ngebo chorne chimbebe muna mbarabo bwate Kenya gosekenya nigera samabo kabo asabataire ba osobisi bakore egasi abo ikirano batari kuigwera mangana ya murayonde bwense.
Commission is foundational to the strength of our democracy. The credibility of elections defines the stability of a nation, and history has shown us that when elections are free, fair, and transparent, our country flourishes. However, when they are mismanaged, the consequences are severe, threatening national unity and public trust, and it's very difficult to recover from those effects of mismanaged and consequences of badly conducted elections. This is why your task is of the utmost significance to Kenyans. The future of our democracy depends on the integrity of the men and women you select to lead the IEBC. The commissioners you appoint must be individuals of untainted credibility, committed to independence, impartiality, and the principles enshrined in our Constitution. The IEBC is not just another government agency. It is not just another constitutional commission. It is the custodian of our electoral integrity, and its composition must reflect the highest standards of professionalism and credibility.
Rero nigo ekamati y'abantu kyanda bari bachorete mu murayibwense ya Kenya umuske Dr. William Samoei Ruto erego tugachora aba commissioner ase kyombekere tenenerete abachori ne chimbe kya IEBC batianiwa no mu Chief Justice omone no musubati Martha Koome kakwana chinga kyecho nigo bari achira chogo cyako koremeremo gokorera abakenye meremo kuna bari achire icho yagota magiga yekigambero gotugutirare ekina kigetiwa bise gose tiwase kigambiro no makenya igore yogachoroka ba commissioner abo nagoteba buna abantu bari babota baremo tibarigeretiwe na barabo kobekwa ase kamati eyo.
I, Koki Muligrinyo, having been appointed as a member of the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission Selection Panel, do solemnly swear that I will at all times obey, respect, and uphold the Constitution of Kenya and all other laws of the Republic, that I will faithfully and fully, impartially, and to the best of my ability discharge the trust and perform the functions and exercise the powers devolving upon me by virtue of this appointment without fear, favor, bias, affection, ill will, or prejudice. So help me God.
I, Kipkoech Andrew Tanui, having been appointed as a member of the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission Selection Panel, do solemnly swear that I will at all times obey, respect, and uphold the Constitution of Kenya and all other laws of the Republic, that I will faithfully and fully, impartially, and to the best of my ability, discharge the trust and perform the functions and exercise the powers devolving upon me by virtue of this appointment without fear, favor, bias, affection, ill will, or prejudice. So help me God.
I, Nelson Makanda, having been appointed as a member of the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission Selection Panel, do solemnly swear that I will at all times obey, respect, and uphold the Constitution of Kenya and all other laws of the Republic, that I will faithfully and fully, impartially, and to the best of my ability discharge the trust and perform the functions and exercise the powers devolving upon me by virtue of the appointment without fear, favor, bias, affection, ill will, or prejudice. So help me God.
Mwanche murigerera togosika bose mambia rero nigo muraiwensi ya Kenya muske Dr. William Ruto akorege ikara na baraibande korose orogongo rwa Africa anena mono bekiombe kerikia African Union ase nyomba y'oborai ya State House omochio Nairobi ekerenge kenene no korigereria na kwenekia maonchorero ase ekiombe kyo kya African Union chinga kichicho nigo muraiwensi ya Kenya abore ekiombe kerose wegyo korigereria na koreta omorembe ase orogongo rwa Africa nabo omirobiro yo korosia abanachebina korosia na gochora abanachebina ase kigambiro kerekia African Union.
I urge you, my esteemed colleagues, to reflect deeply on how we can further fortify our peace and security architecture. One pertinent proposal is to convene a high-level panel of Africans or professionals, perhaps 3 experts, to conduct a comprehensive review of our AU peace and security framework. This panel would also assess the feasibility of implementing the UN Security Council Resolution 2719, which offers a viable pathway for financing AU-led, UN-mandated peace support operations through assessed contributions. Distinguished colleagues, the operationalization of the Court of Justice of the African Union remains a critical priority that must be pursued with renewed vigor. This judicial body is essential in providing a legal mechanism for the resolution of disputes between African states, as well as between the African Union and its various entities. Additionally, the court will serve as a court of appeal of decisions of the African Union Administrative Tribunal, thereby enhancing the credibility and efficacy of our continental legal framework. Although the protocol of the Court of Justice of the African Union came into force in July 2009, its implementation was deferred to facilitate the merger with the African Court on Human and People's Rights and to expand its mandate to include an international crimes chamber. It is now imperative that we move forward decisively in operationalizing this vital institution, and I will be presenting a resolution to the Assembly.
Muraiwensi ya Kenya muske Dr. William Samoei Ruto ni oyiboigo oromo nyakirogo ase kiombikerikia East African Commission gose EAC ni yasokire na kugikiria chiburaburu na chisegi chigendete kwenekiwa ase enseri ya DRC gose Democratic Republic of Congo igatiense yo enseri ya Rwanda sebona stebe chisegi echino ose chiburaburu echo nigo chatigere chifamily chinyinge chitabwati wamenyo asebona magima y'abana amona basubati are asa konka kona chinga kecho nigo muraiwensi ya Kenya aboriro muraiwensi ya Rwanda muske Paul Kagame n'urwensi ya Democratic Republic of Congo muske Felix Antonio gakora chingwana nabo gakora chiburaburu echo nakoreto murembe ase Chinsa echo Ibere.
The escalating conflict and deteriorating situation in Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo are a grave concern to the people and governments of East Africa. Noting the worsening humanitarian crisis exacerbated by ongoing military actions, including the closure of airspace in Goma, I call for the immediate and unconditional cessation of hostilities. I emphasize the obligation of all parties to facilitate humanitarian access to affected populations and urge both sides to pursue peaceful means to resolving this tragic conflict. These alarming developments, coupled with rising diplomatic tensions in the region, underscore the urgent need for peaceful resolution to a conflict that continues to inflict untold suffering on the people, particularly women and children. As the current chair of the East African Community, Kenya is aware of the region's critical responsibility in de-escalating violence and facilitating dialogue between the parties involved. We confirm and firmly believe that a sustainable solution can only be achieved through engagement, constructive dialogue, and a renewed commitment to peace. I call on the parties to the Luanda process on Eastern DRC and appeal specifically to my brothers, President Felix Tshisekedi and President Paul Kagame, both of whom I have had the occasion to speak to this evening, to heed the call for peace from the people of our region and the international community. I call on them to dedicate all efforts towards achieving peace in Eastern DRC and restoring good neighborliness, an essential principle underpinning regional peace and collective responsibility.
Wanche mwaligire togo chigokore mambiarero nigo mukonyi b'omurayi bw'ensi ya Kenya Muske Professor Kithure Kindiki mambiarero akorege ikaro n'abagavana anene mono bali batenete ekamiti budget gose intergovernmental budget and economic council IPEC ansemo ya kareni ase omochi o Nairobi chinga kichicho nigo Professor Kindiki aboria abagavana abo nabo kamiti korigereria buya engana yechi Pasar Chechi County yaretire birengerero nariberera imense itu ya Kenya.
Allow me also, ladies and gentlemen, excellencies, to say that so far, I think when we met last time, there were issues around fostering an understanding between the Council of Governors and the Controller of Budget, which is one of the independent offices. And I think that matter is work in progress, and we did achieve some consensus around the issues which were on the table at that time. I know after that meeting, another issue has arisen, and it's part of today's agenda. And that's how it should be. When you have different institutions, different offices, it is normal for us to have differences of opinion on a matter. What is not normal is to attack each other or to be confrontational and to bring disrepute to any of the offices that are established by our Constitution. And therefore, I know we have some differences of opinion around the issue of education support by county governments, which is part of today's agenda, and I'm sure will find some consensus around the issue one way or the other. We also have made some progress on certain other aspects relating to disbursement of funds. I think we still have some outstanding issues around disbursement, and I think the National Treasury Cabinet Secretary will be briefing us on where we are on that one, so that we can again make sure that counties receive the funds they require to be able to carry out their functions. We had anticipated to build some consensus on the county government's additional allocations bill or law. We didn't manage because The parliamentary leadership has been on recess.
Mwanchi murigereria wikiraga bunongo chwikire mwere w'Ekeonga Chinsa Isano na Ibere senchira yowe kore ngongo gogotingo gosabanga tosukare ajamo naenda mange ninje ko yaretera ase Ekeonga Chinsa ikomya senchira yowe nchenga trini Nyaboga maigaje chikamere twarengenere Wilfred Matundra Wilson Makori kola sense Mary yebimanyerero nawe abiganya nchama na rogenda takwana kichibicha na maringo kirashira senchira yowe kirano tomera nechweka Chinsa chikomi
ine kwabeire gukorera asenga kintambe guse nigo kwarwalire na gusalia enibo enyinge aha buno to kwa